Hi everyone, it's TTL back with another video for you, and today we're finally allowed to talk about the X470 boards and the new Ryzen 2 processors. Now, this is going to be a video about the boards, but I do have the Ryzen 2, 5, 52, 52, yeah, whatever anyway. So the Ryzen 2 TWO 5 2600X, and then I've also got the 2700X. Now the video and the full review for those processors will go live on the 19th, but AMD have said that I can talk to you about some of the boards and stuff that's going to be coming out early. I'm not allowed to talk to you about performance, so it's just a preview of the board. It's like an eye candy kind of look at it, but I've also got a cable that I can show you these lit up and stuff as well. Gives people a heart attack, but it's all good. In the box you will get a RGB addressable cable extender. This is the 3-pin one. Well, it's 3-pin with a gap. So those ones, come on then camera, it's because I've got stuff in the background. There we go. That is your addressable RGB connector. You do also get a normal RGB extension cable as well. You get 4 SATA cables. You get 2 straight ones, 2 angled ones that you get in the box. You get an SLI bridge. I've done too many of these videos today, I'm forgetting my words. You get your IO shield for the back. You get your individual, quite basic, I would say, antennas. Considering some of the other boards that I've done today, these just screw on straight onto the back. And then you get your driver CD. You get some stickers for your cables if you want to identify them easier, and you do get an MSI gaming badge. These used to be like well bigger and much nicer. So in the box, that was it. So then the board itself. So what we want to do, apart from get it in the middle of the shot, because that would be good, Mr. Cameraman. Who was doing that? Oh shit, it was me. Right, so we have the board. What is going on? There's quite a lot of power phases you'll see around the outside. Now I'm looking at the box because I was trying to see exactly how they wanted to say that it was being done and laid out and all that sort of stuff, but they're not really shouting about the power phases on it at all. So when we have a kind of a skim around, they're not really shouting about it too much at all, and it's something that I'm assuming that there are doublers on it, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you might get a 10 plus 4 on there, but it might mean that we've got VRM splitters and stuff. I'm going to have to get the technical bob stuff off of MSI so that I can cover this in the main review, because what you need to remember is this is just a preview about the aesthetics, and I do have to go quite careful about what I'm allowed to talk about. But if we zoom in, now that you've had a good look around, we don't need to see me, so we'll make that disappear. So you get 2 8-pins at the top. It's actually the first of the boards I've seen with 2 8-pins. All of the other ones that I've got in here are an 8 and a 4. So having a look around, we said about the power phases down the side, but you've got some quite meaty heat sinks, and then we can also see that there's quite a lot of cutouts on the heat sinks to try and make them good for airflow and for surface area. So this is something that I'll be paying quite a bit of attention to. Something that we can look about quite quickly is we've got a CPU fan here. There's another fan down here, but this is called a system fan. You've got another couple of fan headers up on this top right hand side. There's another fan header here. When we come down the bottom, it gets a bit light though, and there's only the one here. So that's all your fan headers in total. USB 3 here. There's also so you've got horizontal and a vertical, because there's one there and there's one there. 2 USB 2s, liking that. Loving the fact that there's actually 2 USB 2s on there, because we get quite a lot of internal components now that you need USB internal, so that can talk to the OS. But don't forget, you can get little cables that clip onto these and hubs and all kinds of stuff if you do need more. You do get 2 M.2s underneath here though. Heatsink comes off. This is aluminium, so it's got quite a bit of material there, so that should aid with cooling. Then you can see we've got braces around the DIMM slots, and then you've got bracing around the two main PCI Express slots as well. These go to the CPU, these split off and go to the GPU, the chipset, I do believe. I'm not sure whether I should have said that, but never mind. So, round the back, CMOS clear, and then you've also got BAR's flashback button. Then you've got the USB 3.1 Gen 2 over here in A and C. Then these are USB 3, these are normal USB 2. PS2, this is for your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that kind of gubbins, and your digital audio around the back. No major shielding or anything like massively spectacular to talk about with the audio on this board, but again we'll try and cover that in more depth on the actual board itself. Around here you do get a power and a reset. There is an external USB 3.1 as well. This is your overclock switch that you can flick around. I've never particularly been a fan of these on any board though, so it's not just MSI, I just don't like them. They have to set the profiles. It's not done per CPU, so it's not done for the CPU that you fit. It's done for the ones that they test at their workshop. And they have to make sure that the profiles will work with even really dodgy CPUs. So it's nearly like 99.9% of the time the volts are too high. It's really, it's a noob switch. Don't use the noob switch. Please don't use the noob switch. Anyway, you do get a PCI reader here. This is great for if you're overclocking and you start getting issues and you start getting hangs. You can look in the manual to find out what the codes mean when it freezes, and then you can try and work backwards from that point. But one thing I can do, because I do have a magic cable and I've still got it attached, so I'm going to do it straight away, even though I can't remember where I'm actually meant to be plugging it in, is show you the RGBs, the LEDs that are on the board. And I do need to flick off the lights while I'm doing it and keep talking so that we don't get any camera breaks, but it's a bit disappointing if I'm honest. If you're an RGB fiend, then you get RGB here, and then there is some around the back just there, so it will light up in your case. So you can see that the lights are starting to show a bit there. And we've not necessarily got any massively bright lights on in the room at the moment. There's nothing else on the board, nothing on the chipset. Now I know there are people out there going to be going, well, yeah, but you can always turn them off. And I don't know, I'm already thinking that this probably needed a little bit more, considering, you know, all the power phases and stuff that they've got on it. The fact it's got 2 8-pins, it makes me think that it might have been one of their higher end boards. The 7 normally is, and the lights feel a little bit lackluster. So that's, you know, that's just something as an just something that I've noticed straight off the bat. I'm certainly looking forward to testing it. You'll be able to check back on the channel and on the website on the 19th of April, because that's when the official NDA gets lifted. But for now, this is all I'm allowed to show you. So this is TTL out.